Hello, Bertrand from Youzign here. In this video I'm going to show you how to use the Youzign editor. This is going to be a rather in-depth tutorial on all the little features that make up the Youzign editor. So to launch the editor you have two ways pretty much. You can either launch it from your existing designs here. So you just click on edit any of the designs you have created. You can also launch a new one, so that will pretty much create a new template, a new design from scratch, so that will be like a blank canvas. Or you can go to the select templates page and choose a design that fits what you want to do, and just click on the use button. You can preview it here as well, so just click preview. As you can see, this is a great little design. So just going to click on use. So when you click on use, it's going to load the Youzign software and pretty much allow you to give a name to your new design. So it's going to be my lead magnet, so I'll just call it lead magnet for now, and then click on save, and that's pretty much going to add this template to your Youzign account. Alright, so quite a few things going on here, so I'll show you the basic and how it works. So I'll probably start with the coolest feature I think in Youzign, which is the preview. So it's that little eye you can see here in the top right hand corner, and when you click on preview, it instantly generates a beautiful preview of your design, and that applies to all the design types. So it's something to remember, because even myself, you know, sometimes I forget that I can do a preview for pretty much any of these designs here. Another one that is really cool is the web banner preview, so I'll probably try to show you that now. Okay, so I'll just change I just clicked here and went to web banner. So obviously it kind of messed up my layout a bit because it's not the same dimensions, but I just wanted to show you the preview. So I click on preview here, and I can preview how my web banner would look on a website. So really important to remember, the preview applies to all the design types, so you want to use it. So let me get back to the ebook cover and show you how Youzign works. So the first thing you notice is that there's this area here. So this is pretty much your assets library, you know, where you'll have access to text and images and your uploads and so on. But for now, I'm gonna hide it, you know, because I don't want it to confuse us. So we just click on this left arrow here, and it kind of clears the canvas. And I really like this view when I want to get focused on what I do. So starting from the top here, you have a little home button. So if you click on that, you go back to the dashboard. Obviously you might want to save your design before you go back to the dashboard, but we do have an automatic save feature. So well, if you go there by mistakes, then you should be able to retrieve your design. Next here we have the design type and the design dimensions, right? So if I click on that little right arrow, I can see the dimensions. So this is an ebook cover. It's actually different from a Kindle cover in the sense that this is formatted for the web, you know, so it's like kind of an internet ebook cover. And so you can see the dimensions here, and you can switch to any other design types from here. Pretty much just by, you know, going through this and selecting what design types you want. If you want to switch to a custom size, you can do so as well. You just click on custom size, and when you're on the custom size size or dimensions, you can just click here and modify the dimensions. So I'll just say, let's say I want to go 400 times 547. I'm not gonna change it too much because I don't want to mess it up. Then I'll just press the enter key on my dashboard, and as you can see, it resized it, but it wasn't really dramatic. So let me redo it again. So now I'm at 200 times 547. So as you can see, really easy to resize. I'll go back to my original size, or I can use the crop button here. So that's just another way to resize, but remember, you need to be on the custom size option to be able to use the crop and the resize. All the others, like you see, if I go on the ebook covers, I'm not able to edit the size here. It's going to be locked, because we want this size to be exact, to be able to show you this kind of preview. But again, if you go to the custom size, then you can either edit here and press enter, or click on crop, and then you can just move things around and crop it the way you want, pretty much. And you can see the dimensions here as you crop. So that's 337 width, 244 height. All right, so pretty easy to use. Let me go back to ebook cover. That's really what I want to do here. The next option here is it pretty much allows you to kind of extend the space of the design area. It's what we call the Canva. All right, so right now by default this feature basically hides any element that goes outside the canvas. So you can see my 100 here. I'm gonna move it here off the canvas and it's hidden, right? So in most cases it's handy because it allows you to really keep the focus on the Canva, but sometimes you maybe want to get creative, or you have some very large designs that go behind the Canva, so you might want to see what's happening in there, right? So you just click on that and it's going to show all the elements which are of the Canva. This won't affect your download. When you download something, it will only download the Canva area. But this feature is really, like I say, if you have very large element that goes over the Canva, or if you want to have some more images and play with things around the Canva, right? So again, just click here, hide show. So in this case, I'm hiding it, so I'm not going to be able to see it, but if I just show, it's here, right? So very useful feature. Again, if you have elements which are bigger than the Canva, you want to turn it on to be able to see what's happening. The next option here is the save button. So that's the little disk. And you have two options. So if you create a new design, obviously at some point you're going to want to save it. So just click on the save button and it's going to open a window like this. So I just use save as because I think I already saved that, and just enter a name. If you want to create, like if you're working on one version of this design, let's say in this version I'm doing I'm going to do some split test. So this version is the orange version, and I have a red or something more, a green version as well, right? So I would probably just do this and then click on save as, and I call it like lead magnet green, right? So the save as is kind of another way to clone and duplicate designs. So let me go back to my initial color. I think it was where wasn't that? I'll just pick back my orange. Okay. Right, so then you have the preview. So again, the preview, very useful and applies to all these design types. So if you are in Facebook, if you are working on the Facebook cover and you click on the preview, it's going to show you how your Facebook cover is going to look inside Facebook. Similarly, if you're working on print, something like business cards or flyers, you click on preview, it's going to show you a realistic mock-up of your actual print material. So it's very cool. Never underestimate or forget that little button here. Next thing is the download button. So there's actually two possible types of downloads. You can download the preview. So as you can see, I just clicked on preview first, and then if I click on download preview, it's gonna actually download this image here as it is. So it's gonna download the actual preview. but you can also download the design, right? So just this design as it is here, and for that you click on download, and it's gonna take the name of the design you're working on, and you can just save it to your desktop, and that's pretty much it. The downloaded file is a PNG, right? A transparent PNG. So I'll show you how to turn off the background in a second. And here in the top right you have your user panel link, so you can go back to the dashboard, to your My Designs page. You can visit the support desk, or you can log out. Here in the bottom of the screen you have a feedback button, so that's a really cool little feature we built in. You just put your email, you put a message, you can capture an area of the screen and just let us know anything. Like this is basically, it's like this, it's like a direct line to the development team, like this message, when you send them, they go directly to the development teams, and they go directly to myself as well, so we can really see, if you're having any issues, if you are experiencing a bug, you can let us know via the feedback button. That's just another way to get in touch. And here in the top, in the bottom right, hand corner, you have the zoom button. So when you click on the zoom button, you can see there's a slider here. So just click and slide it up, and it basically allows you to zoom and get a better view of your design. And then you notice there's this like red square inside the zoom area, so if you click on it and then drag it, you can move across your design. So very cool, very handy little feature. And if you want to go back to the if you want to zoom out and go back to the normal view, just click on that square icon, and here we go, you're back on. Okay, so that's the zoom. The zoom is really useful usually for long designs, like if you're working on an infographics or a sales page or something that's a bit lengthy. You're gonna want to use the zoom. Or if you're struggling to select something, like it's too small, or you're not able to really select what you want to select, just click on the zoom button, and from there you can zoom in. Alright, so next let's look into some of the basic controls. So I'm going to turn that mask off now, so that I can see what's off my canvas. So I really want to show you how the user interface works. So we have several elements here. So as you can see, it's familiar, drag and drop kind of interface. What is not so familiar, I guess, is our way to display the control options related to each specific element that you select. So you can see here we have a control bar, and this bar only appears when you select something. It disappears if you click on the canvas, right? So I just clicked on the canvas, and my option bar for this text layer is totally gone. And it's actually relevant to what kind of element you select. So if I select the background, you can see the options are different here. If I select the text, the options are different again. But before I get deeper into that, let me show you some tricks of the of this toolbar. So basically you can move it around. So if you click on any area in the top here near the editing text, you can move it around. So that's, well, very handy if you want to organize your workspace. And if you click on the blue arrow here, you can minimize it as well. So again, if you want to have your mind clears and not get confused, you can easily minimize it. And then what you get first are the editing options. So the editing options are pretty much universal to whatever you select. Obviously now we're selecting a text layer, so you will have text related options here, but at the top you have the generic editing options. There will be undo, redo. You can delete a layer, you can duplicate it. So if you can duplicate, I'll just create a duplicate here. You can also show a grid. So like when you get when you want to get really precise and kind of measure things and make sure you have a perfect symmetry, you know, just click on the grid icon, and the grid allows you to have these lines here that you can position pretty much how you want to make sure, you know, your design is what you expect, right? So you can just position these lines, the blue lines, you can move them around, and you know, let's say you want to have like all this text on the blue line, then you can just move things around, you know, to make sure it's on the blue line. So that's kind of advanced, but it's good to know that it's here, and if you click it again, it just disappears. Next you have the opacity. So the opacity applies to most elements like text, shapes or images. So you just click on opacity and then you can just turn it on and kind of slide it to choose which opacity level is good for you. Then you have the color. So the color option usually apply to text layers and shapes, you know. So like this text here, I can just click on the color button, and here I can choose the colors from the color picker, or I can enter my own color manually here, or if I want, I can pick a color on the screen. That's probably my favorite things. My favorite feature with the color picker is that you can really easily pick a color that's on a design and you know, use it to make it match your brand really. So in this case, you know, I could pick the black here, but probably, yeah, I'll keep it black because it makes more sense here. Next, you have the layering options. So sometimes you will notice some objects are on top of others. Like you can see here, for instance, this text is on top of this shape in the background, right? So maybe sometimes you want to move things around. This is particularly useful if you are trying to reach a layer that is behind something, you know, so you might want to move things around. So for instance, let's say I wanted to, for some reason, move this layer to the front. I just click on bring to front, and you know, it just went on top of the other text layer, and I'm gonna send it to the back. And you can also bring forward, so that's just like moving like one step up from the other layer, and send backward is like one step up. And then you have bring to front and send to back. So layering really useful here. And then the next thing you have is the centering option. So again, very handy if you want to quickly center any element. Just click there, and as you can see, it just centered it horizontally according to the canvas. Very cool. And you have also the vertical centering, does the same but in a vertical way. And next, let me move, let me try this one. You can flip text and images. So that's probably more useful for images usually. You know, if you have an image of someone that's looking to the right and you want to make it look like he's looking to the left, you know, you just click on flip horizontally or flip vertically, and that will do the job. And you have the lock layer option here. So it's useful sometimes to lock a layer if you're happy with your design and you don't want to mess things up, and you know, you're working on new elements on top of background elements. So you just click on lock layer, and then you know, your layer won't move again. As you can see, the lock is activated here, and if I click here, I can unlock it. Right, so that's pretty much how it works. I kind of lost the order of my design here. I'll try to restore it a bit. There we go. So next we have the relevant text option. So again, we are on the text layer now. So we're just focusing on text at the moment. I'll show you the other kind of options you can get. So first you have the font style. So you have a few font families here. You have grunge, handwritten, impact. My favorite font family personally is sans serif. You know, we have some really cool fonts here, like this one I'm using here, which is League Gothic, I think. So I usually go with League Gothic and Free Sans. Like you know, I usually stick to the same font, and I guess that's like on a branding, on the branding side as well. It's better to know what are your brand fonts and just stick with the fonts you usually use. And you can also access your system font. So that's the fonts which are on your desktop. So you just click on system fonts, and it's going to load all the fonts which are installed in your computer. So again, very handy. Then you can control the size from here, but I would usually just use the handles here to modify the size. I don't really use the input here, but you can. You also have bold, italic, and underline for certain fonts, not for all the fonts. And then you can align left, align right, and so on. So that's pretty much the fonts. And something else I could show you is the text behavior, so how it behaves when you move it around. So you basically have these handles here. So if you click on the dot at the top here, you can rotate your text layer. If you click on this here, you can increase the size, and if you hold the shift key while clicking, you can modify the size without constraining the proportions. I won't do it here because it don't look good, but yeah, you can do that with the if you hold the shift key. Here we go. You can just resize without proportion. I usually don't use that feature a lot because I find that when you modify proportions, usually it doesn't look that good. And the other thing is that sometimes you want your text to be on one line or two lines. You want to organize it like maybe differently. So the way you do that is you use this the sidebar arrows here. So as you can see, I'm on the side of this handle. I'm going to click on it and then drag it, and as you can see, I can change how my text is displayed. So this is very, very handy. It's something you should definitely use for formatting your text. Alright, so I think for the text we are good. So let's look into another option now, is the background. So notice that if I click on the background here, I have another menu that appears. I have less editing options because obviously I'm not going to duplicate the background or delete the background or center the background. So I just have a couple of options here. But then I can also change like some of the background settings. So for instance, I can change the background color very easily. So I'll just click on the background color and choose what works for me, and I think white works better. I can also add the gradient. So the gradient, very simple to use. Pick one color, pick a secondary color, and you get a gradient. I can have a pattern. This is a kind of feature that we've been working on, so that's probably going to change a lot in the next for the beginning of 2016. But basically you can choose different patterns here, and then you can customize the colors of the pattern. So you get a lot of options. And the last option is no background. So you just click on none, and basically what that does is that it removes the background totally, so that becomes a transparent PNG, right? So if you're uploading your image for the web and you already have a background on your website, then you don't want to add another background here. So just use the none feature, and that turns it into a transparent PNG, right? But I'll go back to solid for the sake of this example. So again, to do that, I just clicked on background first, and then I get all these options. So that menu is really contextual. Now let me click on a shape. So if I click on this shape here, again, I have other options. I have my editing options, but I can also change the color of the shapes very easily. So I'll just hover on the color I like, and here we go. I change the color of the shape. So as you can see, this menu, you have to get used to it, but it's kind of it's really clever. It's really It really works, you know, to suit your workflow. So I'm going to restore that color here. That was a good one. I think I totally messed up that order. Right, okay, so we're kind of back on our design, and that's about it, I guess, for the this menu bar here. That's really how it works. And now we can go into the assets library, which is, you know, where you will get most of the assets that you had to the Canva. So let me delete the text layer here so that we have a better view here. So by default, the default asset selected is the text. So you have different types of text here. You have a body text, for instance, that's more like a paragraph. And as you can see here, that text layer is too big for the canvas, so I can't see all of it. So I'll just turn on the off canvas element, and here we go, I can see it, and I'll just use that to resize it and make it fit what I do. So we already saw the text options here. So again, you can change the font, the size, and the color, and so on. So you have different types of text, so you can just choose what works best. And then you have a lot of images. So if I go into academics and sports, we have these kind of well, academics related images. So let me try to move things up so that I can add an image here. So what could be good here? Well, the book is probably a good choice. So let's go for this. Let's go for this book actually, because these are pretty cool. Like, they look really simple, but these are very efficient. If you see like a company like HubSpot, you know, and the free ebooks they give, they always use very simple, like filigrane images like this. So these are very cool. And what I would usually do with those is, well, first you can change the size. Then you can change the color of that as well, right? You just pick any color. You know, it's incredibly easy. I'm gonna pick the same color as this, and what I can do is send it to the back, and then change the opacity. You know, so you can do this kind of like little very subtle things, very subtle effects. And let me see how that looks in the preview actually. As you can see, it's pretty cool. It could be better, but you know, you get the idea. So these images are very very handy. So let me just try to grab that. I'll just move things around here, and I'll probably turn the opacity back on, and I'll see if I can move it somewhere else. I think my text is too big on this page, so I don't really have any space to put anything. There you go. There you go. Right, so that's the image library. So, well, feel free to browse through that, you know, and look at all there is, and see what could work in your business. We have some backgrounds here as well. So these are kind of textures, so you can just load them and, well, move them to the back, obviously, and then, you know, just resize them and, you know, make them work. So this is another example of where the show off canvas element would be useful. So if I click this, I click on it, then I'm just hiding all the extra background, you know, that's showing. So that's kind of how you use it in a workflow. And again, I do my preview, I have my background that appears, you know, it's actually starting to look pretty nice. Then I have some business elements, so just go through these and, you know, try to find, you know, something that matches what you're doing. We have a good variety of elements here. Food and travel, we have some icons, and again, on all of these icons which are provided inside Youzign, so first they are commercial free, like we created them so that you can use them, and secondly, you can always change the color. So again, it's incredibly powerful, because when you can, you know, have like a consistent color, you know, for your brand, and it's really cool. You have industries, nature, objects, occasion, people, shapes. Shapes are really useful for like doing these kind of things. Here you can see here, this is a shape. This is a, I think, a square shape. So like this is what a shape would look like. So then if you want to resize it to kind of fit what you do, you want to hold the shift key to resize it without constraining proportions. So as you can see here, I can freely resize it. If I don't hold the shift key, it's gonna resize it with like constraining the proportions. So that's probably not what you want to do for shapes. You want to freely change them, and again you can change the color in just a click, you know. So yeah, that's the shape. So pretty handy for doing a lot of different things. We use them a lot in the templates we create in Youzign. Then you have the technology elements. These are very good as well. So you have the like kind of empty MacBook, sorry, iMac frame. So you know, if you have a product, you can add a screenshot of your product inside it, and you know, like these are very cool. So you have lots of them, like iMac, iPhone, and MacBook Air frames, and so on. So it's very cool. All right, so then you have the web elements. Again, really generic stuff that you can use, you know, for your business. The text, and we have some integration like the icon finder integration. So that gives you access, I think, to about 300,000 images from icon finder. It's just huge, you know. So whatever icon you may look for, well, I'm out of idea now, but let's say I'm looking for a YouTube icon. I just type YouTube, click enter, and you know, I get all the relevant icons here, and you know, I can just add them to my Canva in one click. And basically you can also look at the offer page, right? So if you click on this icon like info here, it's going to take you to the offer page on Icon Finder. So you always want to do that to check the attribution like this. All these images are commercially free to use. Like, so we talked with the Icon Finder team, and we made sure we get you only the images that you can use, but some may require attribution. So you always want to check that. And if they do require attribution, just add a page on your website that says, you know, credits or attribution, and list, you know, all the people that you've used the design. You know, you can list them here. That's what we do. Next integration is Icon Finder. So that's again a huge integration. I think you have access to like 300 or 400,000 extra images. I don't even count anymore, but you know, you just get a huge amount of images. And as you can see, we kind of have like a selection curation process in place. So these are some of the one that we regularly curate. Or the other option is to do a search. So you know, you'll do something like a search for business elements, and you have all kinds of images you can use here. And that would bring me actually to my next next tutorial. So let me just try to find a suitable image. I need an image of someone with a background behind them so that I can remove the background. Right, so just bear with me. I think that that guy here. Right, so you see this guy here. So let's say we wanted to remove the background from him from here, and that's something that, you know, you'll probably you know, have to do at some point. You know, it's like, you know, you have an image of yourself, but you need to remove the background and just keep yourself. So we have that built into Youzign. So once you have selected an image, again from our contextual menu, you can see that there's two new options here. There's the crop option, so I'll actually show you that first. So the crop is simple. You go in, you select the shape you want to crop. So I'm going to go for the round. then you click on crop, and it's alright. So basically you have well, as you can see, it's really easy to crop, and this image has been added to my library as well. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there was a save to library tick here, so I'm going to show you what that means just now. If you go in uploads, the uploads tab has all the image you have uploaded to Youzign, or you have decided to save to your library. So as you can see, I just cropped an image and it's in my library, so anytime I come back to Youzign, I'll have access to this image. And while I'm here, I'll also show you the upload feature. So you just click on upload image, and then you can select a file, or you can drag any image from your desktop and drop it here, and it will upload and stay in your image library until you delete it. You know, you can delete them from here, but as you can see here, like, we stock a lot of images that, you know, we often reuse. Like, we have logos, ebook covers, and so on. So you can easily you know, save all your important brand assets, you know, like your picture, your logo, maybe a particular kind of texture of background that you always use. You can easily save that into here. But let me go back to the topic. I kind of lost track here. So that's the crop, right? So click on an image, select an image, then click on here, crop, and it will crop it. So again, it's a contextual menu. So these options, you won't see them in if you're selecting a text layer, for instance, as you can see here. So right, so let me delete that. And next, I have, I'm going to remove the background like I wanted to do so. So we're getting there. So right, so the next option is called erase background. So when you select an image, you see this kind of symbol here. You just click on erase background, and it's gonna load the background eraser tool, which is incredibly cool. I'll show you how that works now. So first, you want to select the area that you want to keep, and you don't have to be extra precise with that. So I'll just kind of make it like this. I'll just want to select his legs and his left side here, and like that. So that should do it. So first you select roughly the area you want to keep, and then you select the area you want to exclude. So now I just selected the red brush, okay, and I just click on, like, again, you don't have to be really precise on that. You can be really rough. Like, you see, these are the two, you know, the two strokes I did, and it just removed pretty much everything from there. And then you can get, you know, more into it and get closer. And if you can see on the right hand side of my screen, you have a live preview of, you know, what you're gonna get, you know. So again, I just clicked here one time, two times, couple times, you know. There we go. There we go, and I think we are pretty good. Like, if I wanted to be really precise, I can improve on that, but I think that's kind of okay. Oh yeah, his head is kind of missing a chunk here, so just gonna fix that for him. And here we go. As you can see, that was incredibly easy. But then, you know, maybe it's not perfect and you really want to get into it. But usually, like, the rough, like removing a background from an image like this just takes less than a minute. But if you want to really get into it and get more precise, you can always zoom in and really, you know, go for, you know, those hard to find corners and so on, and really, like, kind of finish things. But I think that, you know, is pretty okay. So I'm just gonna click on done. And it's gonna show, it's gonna generate well, a version of him without the background. So that's, well, that feature with all the rest really makes Youzign really incredible. It's incredibly cool, and I'm actually starting to like this cover, you know, believe it or not. So I'll just click on preview again, because I like to preview things, and, you know, looks very cool. It looks incredibly professional, and As you can see, I was just kind of messing around with that. Alright, so that was the background removal feature. So again, when you have an image selected, just click on erase background. Next thing we can show is stock unlimited. So that's another image library. It's mainly like stock graphic and vector graphics. It's really cool. Again, you can just access any of their images from here. Just type your keyword, and you know, you have a lot of stuff, like all kinds of icons and graphics, and these are mainly like cartoon-like graphics, you know, like vectors, right? You have your uploads folder. So again, this is where all the image you upload will stay, you know. So it's really well, it's really important to upload, when you get started, to upload a few of the image you often use, like I say, your logo, your profile picture, your signature, you know, like the background you always use, like this background I'm using in the back here is pretty cool, you know. So, you know, if I was often using that in my business, I would probably upload it to my library here so that I can quickly access it. Next option is the filters. So the filters, pretty easy. You just it just adds a filter on top of an image. So for instance, if I wanted that image to be gray, I'll just click on the grayscale filter, and that's it. You know, I got it in black and white now. So very cool, very easy, and you have a few different filter effects here. So you can just you know, choose what works for you. And then the last one is the save group. So I'll show you how that works. So the idea with save groups is that sometimes you have like design elements that often come back together, and you might want to reuse them in another kind of design or graphic. So let's say, for instance, that I'll just move things around because I think this guy is just very cool. Right, okay. Right, so let's say that my brand is kind of this picture of a book and this picture of myself. I mean, it's not myself, but let's say it was myself. So what you can do, if you hold the Shift key on your keyboard, then if you click on another layer, you can group things together, right? So that's very useful. Move things around, and you know, you can obviously delete the group or move the group around. But what if I want to, I'm often using this group of elements because it's my signature, it's, you know, it's something I often reuse in my designs that's made of several elements, so I can just save that. So what I do now is that, you see again in the contextual menu, now we have a group button, so I click on group. And after clicking on group, well, I can ungroup it, but that's not what I want to do. I want to save the group. So I click on save group, and it's going to add it to my saved groups library. So that means that anytime I need these two elements, like this is very, very, very useful for branding. Again, it could be your logo, it could be a picture of you, and your tagline. You know, that's something you want to use these groups to kind of have things that you often use in your business handy, right? So if I just delete that one, I can just, like, anytime I can pull back these two images together. You know, if I'm doing I'm gonna do my Twitter cover, and let's say on my Twitter cover, actually I could do that now, right? So let's go into a Twitter cover, right? And we're almost at the end of it. If we're a bit long, sorry, we're gonna get there soon, right? So that's my Twitter cover here. So obviously it's not the same dimension, so I'm gonna have to kind of improvise on something here. There we go. Background. This, how to sell, right? So let's say I wanted to use again that picture of me and the book, so I just click on that, and here we go, it's in my save group. So that's how easy it is. And again, I can do my preview to see how it will actually look on Twitter. So that's the last feature I really wanted to tell you about. And that's pretty much it for Youzign. That's pretty much all you can do, all you should do with it, and all the options and the tools. I think it's pretty much very intuitive, but just remember that this menu is contextual. You can use also some keyboard shortcuts that I could mention. So there's obviously the Shift key. If you hold the Shift key and select another element, you can group things together. This gives you access to the Save Groups features. You can also do like Control J to duplicate an element. So I just did a Control J here. So I just duplicated that group. Okay. So that's Control and J, or Command J if you're on Mac. You can also use the arrows on your keyboards to move things around. So right now, as you can see, I'm moving with my, I'm pressing the up arrow on my keyboard, and if I hold the Shift key at the same time, it just goes much faster. Like it goes, as you can see, it goes fast. This is with the Shift key on, and this is with the Shift key off, right? So arrows are really useful to move stuff around. I use them a lot to kind of get precise on where I want to move things. And that's pretty much it for the tour of the Youzign software. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us. Thanks a lot for watching.